Hi, welcome back to another TerranScapes video. Today I wanted to show you some new mock-ups for some new road pieces. Road, we'll put that in quotes. The basic background is that a customer who has a set of my flexible roads that are cast in rubber, he has requested a thinner set to represent a sort of more of a walking path. And actually I had a request for this quite a while back, but I thought it was a bit of a niche piece, and so went with the wider road, which I thought would have a little bit of a more of an application, broadly speaking. But this customer is a very good customer of mine. He's been with me for a long time, and I think having multiple requests indicate that it might have some fit in the market. So what I've done is I've created some mock-ups here to take a look at today and show you a little bit about what I'm thinking about and provide you some opportunity maybe for some feedback. So let me show you my designs, as meager as they are, and we can go from there. So, brief description of these pieces first. There's a variety of shapes that I've produced here. Here's a three-way intersection, short straights. I've done two of these 12 inches, a wide 90-degree, well, not wide, but a long 90-degree, a short 90-degree, a 45, and a connector to the main road system. So those are the basic identification of the pieces. If you're not familiar, maybe I should start there with my other road pieces. You might want to go and take a look at them. They're 3.5 inches wide, so this gives you a sense of its general dimensions here. And they feature a few rocks in them. And I had put in a small hump in various spots along the way to indicate, where wheel tracks or people walking side by side, might erode the earth a little bit deeper. Now, before I discuss these further, I did have many people, well, I shouldn't say many, some, suggest that I should have tire tracks or, other kinds of impressions in the roads. But I avoided that because I wanted them to be universally applicable through a variety of time periods. And if I put in, tire tracks or wagon wheel marks or something like that, it's really going to restrict their application. So it's already kind of a niche-y product, and we don't need to make it even more so. So that was my original intent and design with the main set. Now, the customer requested that I do a narrower set, and I had actually done the very basic preliminary cuts for a mock-up for a narrower set. So actually it wasn't too onerous to get these to this current stage. These pieces are 2 inches wide, and, if I get tippy here, hold on a second. Mr. McLean, all right. It's a believable footpath for one, depending on how deep in I flock and foliage it, or I could add a little width and then you'd have room for 2 individuals very close side by side. So this seemed like a good width to go. I didn't want to go too much more narrow with it, and I felt like that was a decent compromise, as compared to, seeing the spacing here. Add a little variety. That was my thinking. Now, these, basically what I did on the original, let me go back to that, I've tried to emulate that here, is I've built up a little berm along the edge of this to sort of give it a little bit of a transition. There's a, like it's worn down in here, and this adds a little thickness to the rubber to help it lay flat, as I really need a little gravity to help. The rubber's very soft, but it can have a little memory in it and want to flip up, and adding a little weight along the edges just helps it to settle down a little bit. Now, because these pieces are quite a bit more narrow, and I'm assuming are not traveled by vehicles, what I've done is I've just made that little berm very, very slight on these. But there is a little noticeable rise at the edge, and I'm hoping that that's going to be okay once I'm casting those, that they'll still have enough weight to sit down. I think they should, but anyway, that's why I've gone with a slightly smaller berm along the edges here. I don't know if that's going to focus, but you get the idea. Now, because these are more narrow and there isn't a lot of space, I'm a little bit more restricted for adding details to them. So what I've done is I've taken some very, very small rocks, sanded them down, and then, attached them, and I've scattered them about and tried to add a little bit of variety, also so that they tie in thematically with the wider road set, and they just give me something to paint on them just to break it up a little bit more visually. In addition to that, what I did on a couple of the pieces is I went in and bulked up the area. Now this doesn't really look giant, perhaps depending on how the final video renders, but this is a little bit of a mound that is going to sit proud on the surface of the path, and I've done that scattered around on a couple of them just to give it a little topography variation. Wouldn't be much to add in more of that, and it depends on really how rough of a look we're going for on the pathway, if you will. So that's something that could be amended. You can see here, and of course a little bit darker here. So the goal being that there will be, this can be used as the connector piece, and then with a full set of this, of the other pieces, you'll have, let's see here, 12, 24, plus another 6 is 30, say almost 40 inches of road with a single cast with a couple curbs and a couple, and a fork and whatnot. But that gives you a look at it. These are, for people who are curious, these are based on 0.06 styrene, which I've cut and sanded down, and then I'll be making a silicone mold of these, and then from the silicone mold I'll be pouring in urethane rubber to get the final pieces. So that gives you a quick look at the masters for the upcoming pathways. We'll call them paths. And this is my sort of stop point just to check in with the community and the customer to see if there's any revisions that need to be done, or whether I'm going in a totally wrong direction before I pour the rubber, which is the most expensive part of the process. So feel free to leave comments down below. I really appreciate it. And keep your eye on the channel. I'll be coming back probably in a little bit down the road with some more updates on some projects that I have going on. And I think we'll just keep this one short. So thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon.